All right, guys. Thanks for joining again. The Real Shot 256 with your another episode of Crypto Evening or Evening Crypto, however you want to call it. Just doing a quick update on Bitcoin and just taking a look at the latest uh, in price action and trying to decipher where Bitcoin is going to go next as well. I'll give you guys an update on my last couple of trades if you've been keeping up with the videos. One, you'll see that you'll know that I entered into two additional trades with Litecoin and re-entered back, and I also did a trade after seeing the golden cross confirmation on the daily chart on XRP, and I'll give you guys an update on that. Right now, we're sitting at $251 billion for market cap and 71 and a half 24-hour trading volume. This is also something that I want to talk about here. We've seen this volume go from 90 billion to 80 billion to now low 70 billion. So it's sort of a worrying sign for me, as I've said before in my past videos. I've told you guys that whenever I see that is usually correlated with a move to the downside. So we'll take a look at Bitcoin here first and give you my thoughts on where we're going next. And looking at the chart here, I had told you guys I wanted to see a 4-hour close above the 8250. We have gotten nowhere near that, especially on the daily. It would have been really nice to see a 4-hour close followed by a daily close above the 21 or above 8250. But we've gotten neither, and I think time is definitely running out with Bitcoin. Although the daily is in the oversold area zone here, I do feel like the downward move is more imminent than anything else right now. So, and in fact, let's go on to the 4 hour chart. As I was telling you guys, we did defend the 200, the simple 200 coming across here. We used that as pretty good support. However, again, we needed to reach for that 21 at least, or that 8250 mark, and close at least a couple of 4 hour candles there, or at least one 4 hour candle there to shift momentum and change our minds as to where Bitcoin might go next. The fact that it hasn't even tried to get to the 21 and this amount of time has gone through, it's been a few days since the Bitcoin last move. Sorry guys, I am still battling a cold, so sorry about the nasty voice there, and I apologize in advance if I do sneeze or make some sort of disgusting noise. All right, so yeah, we did use the 200 as support. We haven't tried the 21. Time is definitely running out, and as I told you guys, this dwindling volume is also a worrying sign for me personally. I do think if we get into the 60 billion here, 24-hour trading volume, that just confirms that hey, there's a lot of people with their hands off and just kind of waiting on the sidelines to see what Bitcoin's going to do. So again, we've seen this before when Bitcoin starts to lag and it is some time for indecision. Then we do see Bitcoin making a move to a more downward area. So I am definitely looking for that. I think that's where we'll be. If we don't find any support here, which again, there's very little support in between here in the middle mid 7,000. I think we could see 7,000 or even high 6,000 between 6,750 and let's call it 7,200. We could see a Bitcoin price drop to those ranges here. Again, just because of the lack in volume. Although the 4-hour RSI stochastic RSI is pointing definitely up, and it looks like it's got some way to go here to reach the bullish territory and the oversold territory. I'm sorry, overbought territory. Then again, it doesn't have you don't rely 100% on this. There are several factors. You have your price action here that again it's been stagnating, not knowing what to do. It's been enough time. The dwindling volume, which we can take a look at here also on a daily chart. We see how the volume has just gotten lower and lower. We can actually draw a trend line over here, showing specifically how the volume just kind of is on a downward motion. So that, and not being able to recover on above the 21 is also a bad sign for me. So that's where I'm looking at, guys. The next stop on the daily looks like the 55 would potentially offer some support, but that's again in the 6,000, the high $6,000 range. So if that happens, we can either wait for a bounce, but we're going to run into some immediate resistance right at the 382, and then quite possibly drop to the mid 6,000s or into the low 6,000s. And at that point, we have reached our retracement target, which I have told you guys in the past that I am looking for a 35 to 40% retracement. Don't know what happened there. I want to measure this. So if we do get to the 618 here, that would be about 33, 34% retracement, which would, I mean, kind of fulfill the move that I'm thinking. I'm thinking between 35 and 40, but this would suffice, right? We did see a flash crash, but I told you guys that was not it. That was not the move that we're waiting for. This would be it. This would be it. And although it may not be a flash crash, I think this, um, we might do something, like come up here. Actually, not that high. Actually, not that high because we can't recover that 21. So somewhere in this area, right below the 21, and then maybe here have a little bounce and bounce into this area here, and ultimately make our way down into this area here. And then from there, we'll reassess. But I do think that could be our potential bottom here for a very long time, in my opinion, and also based on my research and what I've seen from other traders that I follow. We've all kind of seemed to be in confluence with this type of move. Getting to the 618, the golden pocket area, you'll see a lot of buyers come into this zone here and just propel the price back into new 2019 higher highs. So again, hopefully that will be the case. And then if we do break this area, there's also some great support coming in here around this. Actually, let me fix this a bit. This is more like it. Okay, so there's another trend line of support coming down below the 618 here. That will definitely act as major support. And then if we do break that, then I do think, again, I've told you guys before, I do think again that we'll see some lower lows or match the lows from the previous year. And in that case, if we do see a $3,000 Bitcoin like we did last year, I think that'll be our double bottom, which is a bullish indicator as well. So either way, whether we stop here in this area or we stop down here at the 3,000 area, I think the ultimate scenario is long term. We're definitely looking bullish and looking for higher highs. All right, guys. So that's all I've got for you for also just to finish up here real quick. I was also looking for us to, again, the 21 is coming right around here. This is on the 4-hour, was coming right around in here, but we're not even making a decent attempt to grab it and stay above it. So definitely looking bearish. I was also looking for, again, a move into the 82 range, 82 and a half, close the 4-hour there, and then move back into this pitchfork channel here to regain that bullish momentum and finish off that move to 10,000. But at this point, it's definitely looking like that's not going to happen. So from here, as I already mentioned, that's what we're gonna do. All right. So taking a look at Litecoin now, I told you guys that I had entered into a trade recently on Litecoin, or re-entered a trade into Litecoin, and although it was and it is looking a bit stronger on the daily chart than Bitcoin is, it doesn't control its own destiny. Ultimately, if Bitcoin dumps, then everything's going to dump along with it. And we can see from Bitcoin's last dump, we see that Litecoin followed suit and has definitely defended the 21 exponential and bounced off of it. Not with a whole lot of decision, right? We still see on the 4 hour, or this is the daily actually, but we still see that same trend of descending volume here as we do with Bitcoin. And since I do think that Bitcoin's next move is to the downside, I just think it's going to drag everything along with it. So what I have decided to do as an update for you guys, and also in the spirit of transparency, I have exited 50% of this trade. I've left 50% in it just in case I am on the wrong side of this, and I'm wrong, which I certainly hope I am. But I have uh, exited 50% of my position on Litecoin as of today, earlier today. So there's that. Don't take this as financial advice. Like I've told you guys before, this is just for entertainment purposes, and you guys probably have your own strategy that works for you. I can only, again, for entertainment purposes, I share with you guys what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and also pick up on the good on the things that I'm doing right for hopefully for you guys, and hopefully you are capitalizing on those things. So that's where we're at with that. But so again, I'm expecting a pullback on Bitcoin. That's why I've exited, and um, we'll hopefully I will be wrong, and we can see Bitcoin and Litecoin and everybody else just make a nice little run upwards. All right, so XRP now actually before I leave Litecoin, I do want to let you guys know that my outlook on Litecoin is that if we do stay stagnant, I think Litecoin does try to get back into the 30 simple up here, and if we do get a close of a 4 hour or maybe a daily on here, then I do think we do climb higher. But however, it's all just contingent upon Bitcoin staying stagnant or not having a massive drop. If Bitcoin can stay relatively stable, I think then Litecoin can ultimately catch up to the 30 simple, close a 4 hour above, and then go higher. So all right, so that's what I got for Litecoin. Let's look at XRP, and and so I was looking at this earlier, and I was looking at this 4 hour candle here. Actually, this is the daily. I was looking at a 4 hour candle here earlier to see if we were going to get a close above this support line and make a reach for the 21 up here. But we didn't. I mean, we had a nice little wick up here, but not enough to get us back into the 21. And I mean, I'm not even close, right? So I mean, just the fact that we didn't even get close to it, just kind of smashes those those thoughts that, hey, we might be able to recover. Again, we got a golden cross on the daily a few days ago, about a week ago or so, and we were getting some nice separation. I think we're still going to get some separation again. So it's kind of the same scenario with Litecoin. If Bitcoin stays stagnant and consolidates some more in that same range where it's at now, then I do think that we could potentially close a 4 hour candle above the 21 and then reach for this 30 simple up here. And then what I'm looking for after that would be to close the 4-hour candle above the 44.9, so about 45 cents. And if we can get that close over 4 hour, the longer it remains up there, the more I get bullish on it for another move upwards. So it's good to see that both Litecoin and XRP are looking a bit stronger than Bitcoin right now. Again, just hopefully Bitcoin will stay stagnant there with indecision and just allow for these other coins to try to make a run for a higher price range. And also, I had told you guys another update. I had told you guys I had entered into the XRP Golden Cross trade after I saw this happening. I told you guys I had entered into it. I have since also exited about 50% of my position on this again as well. Again, that 50% that I left in there is in hopes that I am wrong. But if I am not wrong, then I'll be looking to exit 100% of my position with XRP and Litecoin and Bitcoin for that matter. So paying close attention to what's going on in the market, and so that we can defend our positions if something weird crazy happens. Talking about a dip or a move downward again. All right, so let's take a look at Ether real quick and see what it's doing. Ether just follows what Bitcoin does very, very closely, with the exception of sometimes it doesn't. But we can see here on the daily that it actually has followed suit. I mean, looking at this drop here and continuation, and has tried to bounce since. Now, I do like what I'm seeing here with same thing as Litecoin and XRP. We are trying to close on our way to close a 4-hour candle in the next couple of hours. And if we do that above the 21, like it's doing right now, even I mean it's just at the 21. So if we can close a 4-hour above it, then we start to change our mentality on Ether. And again, as long as you guys are probably tired of hearing me say this, but as long as Bitcoin stays where it's at and doesn't decide to go on a massive dump, then Ethereum has a chance to run up. For transparency, sorry, guys, getting thirsty here. For transparency purposes, I do not have a trade in Ether whatsoever. I am not holding any bags whatsoever. So whatever happens here, it does not have a bearing on what I'm doing here with my trades or my positions. Just hoping that for all those of you who are entered into Ether or Ethereum, however you want to call it, it is looking stronger than Bitcoin is definitely at the moment. So as long as again we close a 4-hour and hopefully a daily above the 21, then we can expect a higher move to maybe regain this 30 simple up here, and then bounce up from there as well, possibly creating a higher high. But we'll take it a step at a time. Right now we're definitely in a positive state, just barely above the 21. Hopefully we'll get above the 30. And it is helping that the price action is down where it's at, so the 30 will be more easily or will be obtained more easily if this continues. So definitely looking stronger. So as far as that goes, that's all I got for you guys as far as technical analysis. I didn't want to end it with the news that you probably already heard. Jusin Sun pretty much outbid everyone with a $4.5 million bid to have lunch with Warren Buffett, and he's allowed to bring 7 guests with him. So I'll leave you guys with this question. Leave it down on the comments below. Who do you think must attend this luncheon with Warren Buffett? Who do you guys think would be instrumental and would help change Warren Buffett's mind in regards to Bitcoin and blockchain, as he's in the past called the technology and Bitcoin has called it rat poison. Funny note is, his portfolio includes about 9.5% of Bank of America, 18.2% of American Express, 5% of Goldman Sachs, about 2% in J.P. Morgan, and 9% in Wells Fargo. And you know, but he's called Bitcoin rat poison. What's funny and ironic about this is that Goldman Sachs, back in the recession of 2008, Goldman Sachs was almost went down and closed shop because of banker fraud. Chase is now involved in a $250 billion money laundering scheme that was initiated in Tallinn, Estonia. If I'm saying that right, I hope. The funds were transferred from a Russian originated account and went into Deutsche Bank in Tallinn, a branch in Tallinn, Estonia. From there, the money moved into to Chase. So they helped out in this whole maneuvering, this whole um, money laundering scheme that was going on, initiated again in Russia, and then Wells Fargo, who he holds just over 9% in his portfolio, was also slapped with several multi-million dollars. I mean, it's over $100 million in fines for shady, unethical business practices. The whole scandal with of Wells Fargo just going out and opening illegitimate accounts for customers without their permission. So I mean, he's involved with these with these scandals, and but yet he's calling a decentralized digital currency rat poison. It just I think he needs to do a little bit of retrospect, and just think about what he's doing there. But who am I? He's a billionaire. I'm not. So let me know, you guys, what you think. Who should attend? I think, in my opinion, this guy should or this company should be there. Blockstream. They have actually launched the first satellite, the first blockchain satellite into space. So it kind of gives Bitcoin and the blockchain network, it kind of gives them more decentralization in the space. It becomes further decentralized by having not only because you could say that if you could turn off the internet worldwide, you could say that that's a way you can kill Bitcoin, right? So there was sort of a central point of failure there, but not anymore. And although this is very nascent technology and the systems are very, very new, and they still, I'm assuming, and this is only my opinion, right? I'm assuming they still have to work out a lot of the kinks in the way that they're transmitting the blockchain via radio waves through the satellites. And also these satellites, they're not completely 100% owned by Blockstream. These are satellites that are multi-purpose and that are offering services to other companies and other purposes. But Blockstream has actually gained or have purchased a a part of the satellite's capability to transmit the blockchain back to Earth. And you can do this using a dish, kind of like your DirecTV or whoever your dish provider is in your area. You can use one of those satellite dishes in conjunction with a few other things. You could use a fairly cheap computer, um, and fairly cheap also software in that computer to start transmitting and receiving the satellite feed. And it also doesn't cost as much. The upkeep wouldn't be as high as it would be for a traditional node or for a traditional node. So saves you a little bit of money there. There's no bottlenecking with internet connection since it doesn't use a Ethernet connection nor a coaxial cable. So there's no bottlenecking there. And it's overall said to be a more friendly version or a more friendly option to keep up with the blockchain and the transmit that information back and forth. So definitely, I think he should be one of them. That's I'm sending my vote in. I actually tweeted at Jusin Sun and I said, hey, the Adam Bach, he should be there. He's also the creator of Hashcash. Hashcash was sort of a previous attempt at what is now Bitcoin from the man himself, Adam Bach. This guy here, Adam Bach, if I'm saying that correctly. He created Hashcash, a sort of crypto currency, but didn't solve all the problems. I don't think he solved the double spend problem issue. So I think that's why it never actually materialized into what Bitcoin is now. So very bright guy, super intelligent. I mean, just the things that he's been able to contribute to the blockchain space, bar none, is probably one of the most important aspects as in recent history, recent cryptocurrency history. So all right, guys, I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining. Again, follow us on Twitter at the Real Shot 256 if you're not already signed up. Definitely hit us up. Let us know you're part of the community. And also on Instagram. I don't have my Instagram up here, but just type in the Real Shot 256. I do post regularly there, and you guys can see my kind of what I'll be talking about, during these videos. So it just kind of gives you a heads up. So definitely follow me there. Let me know you're doing it. Comment, stay engaged. I really appreciate when you guys do that. So definitely will respond to any comments or any questions if you guys want me to look at any other coins. I usually stick to the top 10 coins. But if you have something that you want me to look at, definitely let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so. All right, guys, signing off here. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great night.